Oh. Sairam, everyone. Just to recollect what we discussed last week before we dispersed, Swami is talking about the importance of good company and the need for us to give up bad company. And Swami went on to explain to us what the criteria is for good company and what bad company is. Swami says that whoever has love for God, fear of sin, and who do not do anything to harm others, they are the ones who are good. And whoever does not have these qualities, even a trace, and even an iota, they have to be considered bad company and we should avoid. And so that's what was discussed by us last week. So I think I will ask the sisters to continue from where we left off. Thank you.
Sairam. It is profitless for a true aspirant to associate with men who spend their time in worldly affairs. If you don't secure friends of the type I mentioned, be solitary without associates. You do not lose anything thereby. Never even think of the company of the wicked. Do not get entangled in their wiles. If possible, when you get a chance, advise them about the right, but do not yield to their words. In fact, do not even entertain the desire to be in the place where they are present. If you cultivate these characteristics, then both repetition of the divine name and the meditation will become easy for you and will yield quick results.
Okay, thank you very much, sister. As we can see, Swami is giving a bit more information on bad people whom we should avoid. He says that people who are engaged in worldly affairs, they would not give us. They will take us away from the into the world. Is what Swami says. So I will stop here, and others can share your thoughts, please, Saira. I guess no one has anything to say because it's very clear, or hello, can you hear?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, I think it's clear, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you can see, Swami talked about bad company. Now he's saying that those who spend their time in worldly affairs themselves are of no use, and it is better if we don't have anyone of that kind. It's better to be by ourselves alone, is what Swami says.
Sairam, even in the bottom, maybe from the bottom, the second sentence, Swami reiterates, in fact, do not even entertain the desire to be in the place where they are present. So that's sort of very strict advice from Swami. The first Swami mentioned that don't even don't talk, or don't mingle with them. But even in this one, Swami said, don't even stay where they present. So maybe practically, that would be very, very hard, in my humble opinion. But I think Swami wanted to tell us, if you know someone is very wicked and, very worldly and very dangerous, don't be there, to associate with them. That's sort of the advice from Swami. You better be away from them, to move forward in your spiritual path. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you, sister. Yeah, Swami is not mincing any words. He says for us to progress in dhyana, Swami says don't even be there, as you are right. Don't even stay there. Don't even be present.
So, brother, here the one more additional point I noted is even entertain the desire. Do not entertain the desire. But if you happen to be there, then there is a way you have to behave too. But that desire is not supposed to be there. Thank you, Saira.
Okay. Anyone else would like to? I guess if everyone is okay, we can move on. But
Saram, I was just looking at the sentence where Swami says, if possible, when you get the chance, advise them about the right, but do not yield to their word. So I guess he's also telling us to let them know of our decisions, or why we choose what we choose to be, or?
Yes, Saira. Addition to this, under such circumstances, we should go near such people and give them good advice and change their ways. This is what I think Swami's, to my knowledge. Sairam, thank you.
thank you, Auntie. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, please?
Sairam, brother, I didn't understand that auntie's comment on that.
Sairam, brother. So if someone is going in the wrong path, worldly thing or any task, whatever not under the spiritual, we can advise them nicely. But if they take it, it's good for them. Otherwise, we have to leave it. That's all. That's the point I can understand. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Saram, this is Varadan, and because I think what Swami means.
Anyone
is
else has something to say?
Yeah, this is Varadan. Hello, Saram.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, but what Swami, I think, so my understanding is that whenever we are saying our opinion, trying to correct them, at least they would understand. They wouldn't talk in front of you that kind of things. So you can keep distance from them, and they wouldn't talk to you because they know you are not in aligned with them or whatever. So that is, we can show them our true standing where we are. And the next time, even they don't want to take anything like this because you saw that one. But we can correct other people. We can tell them, advise them, and leave it. So even next time we can, whenever they start chatting that kind of things, and we can move away from there. So they know that you don't like it. And even maybe that they wouldn't bring that kind of things in front of you. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you very much, brother. Anyone else has something to say? So if everyone's okay, we can move on. Means I think it's pretty straightforward and clear. So we can go to the next slides.
Innocence, purity, and humility. The realized souls, Jivan Muktas, are like lighthouses that point out the way to ships caught in blinding darkness in the mid-ocean. The spiritual lighthouses show the way to those who struggle helplessly in the thick night of ignorance. All are born out of the womb of the one Lord. Just as many varieties of fish and crabs and aquatic creatures move about inside a big tank, multitudes of human beings move about in the sea called the Lord. This is indeed a very awesome scene. Some are underdeveloped, some are
Undeveloped
undeveloped, and some are underdeveloped. They swim around, greedy and selfish. In the midst of this crowd of ignorant beings are few highly developed souls, the wise, jnanis, and yogis. Since they are mixed up in the ignorant crowd, it becomes difficult to distinguish the wise from the others. A microscope is necessary to identify the red corpuscles in the blood. Similarly, a special microscope is needed to find the wise. That microscope is no other than meditation.
Again, I will open it up for, I think Swami has, there's nothing for me to add here. Swami is very clear. So I will open it up for discussion. If anyone would like to share any thoughts, please.
Then Swami says a special microscope is needed to find the wise. That microscope is no other than meditation. Does he mean that if we meditate, we will develop the capability to distinguish who is wise and who is not?
Yeah.
That's the meaning?
Yeah, that's the meaning. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because they are mixed in the normal people now, so they wear the same dress and they eat the same food and they go in the same car or whatever it is. So we don't know who the jnani and who is not jnani, so not easily identifiable with our usual naked eye. So Bhagawan is saying through meditation you develop develop a very powerful eye so that you can spot them out and approach.
When specifically Swami says things like this, devotees will be curious or anxious to know how to do that meditation also, right? Swami has been saying so many things about the meditation, but is it Jyoti meditation or Javasaya Rupa Dhyanam or is which kind of meditation will help to develop these capacities?
In the following,
can anyone?
in the following passages, he is saying that he's saying the same thing. Namasmarana and meditation. That's what he is saying until now. In the next paragraph, it is there. Next one or two paragraph.
Sir, I think you feel, you sense when you see the people back, your sense will warning you, don't go there, like kind of things. I guess. Thank you, sir.
Sairam, after I have seen this passage, in my mind, after we get to know this one, then every time when we look at the people, we may start at maybe some sort of judging, or the whether this is a good person or bad person, that sort of tendency, whether it may come to our mind, because every time when we look at the people, we may think that whether this person is the wise person, or not wise person, good person or bad person, whether that sort of tendency may be in our mind.
I would like to say this one, because we are not going to do that one. For a man who is highly involved in meditation, he can spot out easily the wise person. So that's what it is. We are not going to judge anybody, anything. We just go casually, and you see something in his face, some light in his face, and you are naturally you see that he is great. He is jnani or yogi.
Maybe that sort of stage, it would be coming maybe after we have maybe develop to the higher level. Then immediately we can identify maybe that's, up until then it would be a little difficult. I understand.
That's what Bhagawan is saying. Get the mastery in the meditation.
Sairam, just to add on to what Auntie Anandi was saying, I found it interesting the analogy that Swami is using. A microscope is necessary to identify the red corpuscles, which are the red blood cells in the blood. The entire blood, is made of red blood cells. It's mostly red blood cells, and there's maybe some other things in there, but there's so many red blood cells, and they are all the same. But when you look in the microscope, you can see them. So I was wondering why Swami used that example, because it seems like to find, Swami saying jnanis would be a few. There's only a few of them, and they would look different from all the other ignorant people, I guess. But the example of the microscope and the blood, like all the blood cells would look the same.
Then how they find, how the scientists find out whether this is red corpuscle or white corpuscle? How they find?
Yeah, so I guess so there's white blood cells and other things in there. But the majority would be just the red blood cells.
So I think the point Kalyani is trying to make is you are anticipating the jnanis will be fewer, but if you're using the blood, the majority of the blood composition is red blood cells, not like there's white and platelets and other things are there too, but majority is red blood cells, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that is true.
That is only the analogy. That's why we shouldn't extend the analogies too far. It's Swami is just trying to say microscope is needed for that, for like that. Here, if you advance in meditation, you will get that capability. That's only Yeah, it's
That
like,
I also agree with Brother Vimalathan, because Swami is trying to say to identify that.
Yeah.
So that's the thing I can see on this. When you're reading, just go through it, then that's what Swami is trying to say.
I think he's trying to say it's not visible to the naked eye. You need
Yes,
to have,
that's what.
yeah, I get it. If you're.
So I think I will just like to interrupt there because, again, translation. So I think Mani Aunty is there. So I will ask her to elaborate, I guess, if she can. Because the words which Swami is using is Netrunandu, Tirugunatti Errati Purugulanu, Chuda Valenanna. So what Swami says is, in your blood, if they are a red color, Purugulu means bacteria, are roaming around in the blood, you cannot make them out unless you have a magnifying glass. That is what Swami has said. See, this sometimes, so what happens in the red blood cell, as Kalyani said, everything is red. If there is any other organism or a bacteria which is also moving around in that, how can you figure out? Because the blood is red, that is also red. So for that, you need magnifying glass. Okay, so the thing is, what Swami is using the same analogy. Everyone looks good in this world. So who is good? Who is not good? Everyone is doing the same thing. So I think that is what Swami is trying to say. So when the environment is also looking the same, and the thing which you are searching for also looking the same, how would you identify? You need to have magnifying glasses. Okay, so that is what Swami is saying. Swami is very, very clear. It's natural that such questions come up. So I went and looked at the Telugu version.
yeah, so the translation always trick us, yeah.
So the analogy seems very appropriate now, isn't it? Blood, everything is red. And if there is something which is red in color and which is in the blood, you cannot make out.
Yeah, so
you need magnifying glass. Okay,
correct.
so I just let you all discuss a little, and I just wanted to make sure that I am.
Sai Ram, this is Aku Aunty. He says special microscope. You need a special microscope.
Yeah,
so Swami is using the word Bhuda Attamu. Actually, in Tamil, they will say Bhuda Kannadi.
Bhuda Kannadi.
Which is magnifying glass. Okay, Swami didn't use the word microscope. Swami said you need magnifying glasses. Yes, of course, the microscope also has some magnification mechanism. But ultimately, it's the same piece of glass which magnifies it. So Swami has used the word Bhuta Addamu. Okay.
So, Sairam brother, so the people who are following the meditation, so they have the power, they have the atmic knowledge. Not only that, they have the vairagya and viveka and patience is all built into them. Then for them, easy to identify the people who are not properly following the spiritual path. So easy to identify compared to the other people, the people who are following the proper spiritual path in the meditation. For the meditation, they need those qualities, vairagya and viveka and the patience and the happiness. They will find out easily. This is my simple opinion. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, brother.
Sairam, in my humble view is, when we do meditation, it's for your own improvement, your own realizing your own divinity. So I believe you develop a different wavelength, that wavelength. And when you are mingling with people, you're only going to mingle with people who have a similar wavelength. Then only you will align, you will get connected. So as Swami said, everybody is good, everybody's right there. It's just you have to find that wise. And to me, which helped me a lot and which I'm very sensitive, that if you have, you will, some people you feel in their company, you feel really good, elevated. You feel so comfortable. You can sit for hours and talk to them. Some people in some people company, you feel so down, drained. You just come back. You said, why the heck did I go there for 5 minutes? I feel so depleted, right? So that's how meditation help you. It helps you to improve that energy, and you will only align your energy with people, those who are like-minded, and you feel good within their company. And that's how I see that everybody is good, but you have to increase your wavelength so that you can start connecting with those people. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you very much. Very well said. Yeah, it's like, in any field, once you, for example, a person who has never cooked will never understand what is good food, bad food. But if you start cooking, then when you look at it, you know whether the person has put salt or whether the person is, you become capable of identifying certain things. So as sister said, it is only by our own practice we will know when somebody else is also doing something similar, or somebody seems to be doing something similar but better. Then we can reach out and say, you seem to be doing this well. What is it? So I think our ability to understand even spirituality will improve if we do our own personal sadhana. And I think that's what Swami said. And I think to the point which brother Vimalesan brought up, Swami is talking about meditation, but Swami didn't tell what is meditation. But I think whatever Swami has said is meditation. That's the way Swami is saying, you need to get up in the morning, how you should sit. All that Swami has covered. Swami has said you should do the Nama Japa, you should do, form, your Ishta Devata, the one form you should, without changing, you should worship. That also Swami has covered. Then Swami has covered, you should do all good things, you should not do bad things. Then Swami has said, you should have good company, you should not have bad company. According to Swami, all this is meditation. Every single thing which Swami has told is meditation, because many times people think only if you sit on a mat and do meditation, it is meditation. For Swami, meditation is a wholesome 24/7 activity. And everything is actually preparing you for that, to become one with the Lord. So I think, according to Swami, meditation is all encompassing. Every single instruction which Swami has given is what I understand, because he gives the instruction and then he says, this is the benefit of doing this. You do the instruction, and so my understanding is meditation is all this. Yes, Jyoti meditation is completely missing in the Dhyana Vahini. But I don't think people have read Dhyana Vahini. Only for people who don't read Dhyana Vahini, I think Jyoti meditation is applicable. It's my personal view.
Sai Ram. Sai Ram. Yeah, the way you said is simply follow whatever Swami says. I come to my practice. Swami will even give you the clue or the dream or anything. The message will come to you by what you should do, and also that's the way I follow and keep it quiet. And you can stay away from them. Other thing, Anandi's question, the judging others. Is Krishna already, we studied in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna asked Dharma and Duryodhana to go outside and see the people. When you have a bad quality, when you see the people, you will judge them wrongly. Then you are good, do the meditation and everything, then you will do the right thing. That is the answer there. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, sister, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, I think, brother, I don't know what he said makes sense, and it's all encompassing. And basically, whoever become our association, if they help us in progress of our spiritual sadhana, spiritual progress, then they are good company. Otherwise not. I think that's a simple definition, I guess. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, in order to have a meditation and you have to prepare yourself, so as Brother Arno said, we have started with the sitting posture and all kind of thing. And Swami now brought us to the surrounding side, surrounding and the mind. So for that also, if he's doing everything right, even if our mind is not focused and it's all over the place, then that is when you look at it in depth, that is associated with the worldly things only. So that is for that mainly the people you are day to day, whoever you are dealing with them. So that part we have to focus on this to eliminate that. Then you can easily focus, and the meditation you can with the meditation then you will identify more of to concentrate your mind to achieve the goal. So that's what I understand from this paragraph. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sister.
Sairam, another interesting, just for me, it may not be interesting for you. In the spiritual parlance, what kind of examples for undeveloped and underdeveloped, the people, some are undeveloped and some underdeveloped. They swim around and greedy and selfish. Are there any good examples for undeveloped and underdeveloped?
Okay, sister.
In Telugu translation, Sairam.
Yes, Auntie, please go ahead.
Swami is saying, apakva jivulu, not matured people, swarthamuto, swalabhumuto, atu itu kaduluchundanu. They're selfish people, and only they're interested in their own self-improvement, in the swalabham. They're interested in their own, in gaining something for themselves. Such people are there. That's what underdeveloped and undeveloped Swami is trying to say. Apakva jivulu.
Unripe.
Unripe. And swartha jivulu. Here it is underdeveloped, but in Telugu Swami is saying apakva jivulu swarthamuto. Their own interest, selfish interest.
And swalabham.
Swalabhamuto atu itu kadaluchundunu. That's what Swami is trying to say. Not matured people.
Yeah.
And selfish people. You can find such people among others also, among the creation. Multitudes of human beings move about. Sairam.
Thank you.
So,
Sairam, Suyalabham and selfish people are same, I think, no? Sairam.
One is self-centered, means they are only interested in their gain. What is there in it for me type of thinking. How much profit can I make? Swalabham. Then swartha means totally selfish. Apakva means one who is not ripe spiritually. That's what.
Brother,
we can say it's immature.
Immature.
Brother, isn't it the undeveloped and underdeveloped? Isn't it described with the thing of greedy and selfish too? And the following sentence is describing about them, right?
Yes.
That's the way I understand. Thank you, Sairam.
Yeah, when I look at right now, after Mani Aunty explained nicely, it says, they may be undeveloped and underdeveloped, unripe, and that's the one it came, it has come here, greedy and selfish. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
See, even in the previous chapter, last paragraph, Swami has talked about people who are worldly minded. They are of no use, Swami has already said, who are after the worldly profits. So I think Swami is same.
So, Sairam, brother, even though if we take the spiritual side, sometimes it's very difficult to identify who is good and but still the way of some people, they can talk very well. But if we have proper knowledge in spiritual, definitely you can identify. So many people, they are wearing the pink cloth or whatever they think they are wearing, the mala and everything. For us, if we have proper knowledge in the spiritual side, definitely you can identify, even if we take study circle. So we are capable to identify you. If someone is going to do, we easily identify because we have the jnana. At least we learn so many things. So we have the Microsoft because we know what is meditation. At least we know the Atmic. So we have a little bit of power to identify the people. That is my understanding too.
I with something with Das and conclusion that I understand that he's saying the right thing, and for the help we can for more the help we can ask Swami to get help. That we can close our eyes and Swami's Namasmarana. Swami will definitely help us to find out the right people for us. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, brother. If everyone is okay, maybe we will move on to the next slide, if it's okay.
Sairam.
Sairam.
This is Aku Auntie. I have a question. Unmatured or unripe means they can be religious or they can be spiritual, but they have not yet got the knowledge correctly. Is that what? Or they are not following?
Good question, sister. I think very good question, Auntie. So I will again open it up for the participants to share their thoughts. What do others think? Auntie is asking, does that mean that such people are maybe spiritual, maybe religious? So do they fall under that category of immaturity?
The people who have desire, they can put you in trouble, definitely. The spiritual side, most of them, they don't have desire. So others, for their desire, if they have desire, if we have the connections with them, one day they put you in trouble. It could be any kind of characters they have without the spiritual side. Thank you.
Swami gave us the tools, that fear of sin and the fear of God.
Yeah, love of God. Yeah,
that we can recognize these people from that tools. That we can talk to them and find out where they are going. So we can find out how they behave. Thank you, Simon.
Sairam, brother. Thank you. Anyone else has something to say? So, Andy, maybe I will just give my take. I think the reality is, if there are people who are so bad, everyone knows that they're bad, then there's no issue there. The issue of identification becomes only when people seem to be good, but we need to figure out who is really good. As all that shines is not gold, as they say, so that is where the problem comes. So you are right, people who maybe, I think that's the way the word apakva is used. So the thing is, they are in the process of maturing, but we need to distinguish the ones who are just in the process of maturing or ripening from others. So that way we can identify the right people to associate with. I think that's what Swami says. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my understanding. So,
yeah, when the tree planting, when we plant a plant and we put a fence around that the plant will grow without getting damaged with the animals, by the animals. So that's what I think Swami said. Protect yourself not to have the bad companies. They influence you. So in the beginning, you don't need to have those kind of company until you develop. After you can mingle with them, or you know that how far you go, how far you protect yourself. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. So, Sairam sisters, shall we move on?
This creation and the wonder with which it is filled is really a source of amazement. But considering present conditions, there are very few who watch for the light and are guided by the light. So instead of following this person and that and taking devious roads and getting lost, it is best to place full faith in the Lord Himself and rely on Him as the only mother, father, guru, and guide. Then you will never lose the right path. He will never direct you to the wrong path. To have that firm faith and that experience, one must take to meditation. That is the one and only means. It is enough if the name and form of the Lord is meditated upon with love, prema, and faith, and you can choose the name and the form that you like most. Be over joyful and sweet. Be ever joyful and sweet. For this spiritual discipline, you must cultivate the quality of always being joyful with a smile on your face. This will give you good distinction. People will also like you more. So the Lord will also have joy upon seeing you. Therefore, observe meditation with the innocence, purity, and humility. Then, without fail, you can attain whatever you strive for. Do not lose your temper in any situation. Do not lose courage in any contingency. Respect everyone, whatever their status. Then the quality of universal love, prema, will develop in you. As a result, meditation will progress without disturbance.
Thank you very much, sister. I think Swami, the questions are right away answered by Swami. Again, Swami is saying it's enough to, if the name and form of the Lord is meditated upon. Swami, as if, Swami has anticipated these questions long time ago, decades ago, it looks like. So Swami is, he wants us to have the full faith, and whatever the conditions are, not be swayed by that. Continue on the right path, Swami says. So I will just stop here. I will open it up for others to share their thoughts. Saira.
Sairam, there is here is an important message here. You never lose your temper, and the respect. You should, even though they are bad, you should respect them, and it says whatever their status. Yeah, that is very important. Controlling our anger and anger management, everything. We only can leave them alone and move them towards towards the spiritual path. Sairam.
Saira, in the first paragraph, Swami analyzed before about the people and everything. At the end, he's saying that you only rely on him, right, as a father, guru, and guide, right? So if you rely on him, he is going to guide you in the right way. So in that, when you focus on that, then it's easily, you won't see those people as a bad or good. You don't identify them. Then you will focus on your work and your spiritual sadhana. Then other things won't be affected. So I'm trying to understand why Swami talk about the other things before, and now Swami says just focus on this.
He's Krishna. That is why. He's Krishna.
Very good question, sister. And no, I don't think it's tricking us. Swami is very logical. I think I will open it up for discussion. Anyone has something to say?
Saira, actually, I don't understand, because earlier Bhagawan said good company is essential for your progress, spiritual progress. Then he said the jnanis and yogis very difficult to be identified, and through intensive meditation or whatever the form it is, it could be walking meditation or sitting meditation, but through through disciplined life and meditation, you develop some sort of skill and you easily spot out jnanis and yogis, and because it's one or two people here and there, so that's what he said. And we are not asked to differentiate people who is good, who is bad. That sort of thing is not here. Yeah, that's what I just wanted to say. Thank you.
Sai Ram brothers, my understanding is you have to search for the good people, like a good satsang, like Sai Center, like any satsang is going to be helpful for you. If you cannot find that kind of environment, don't associate with the bad, the people who don't have any spiritual side, and be with only God. He will guide you. But because in that way, that's what Swami is saying, if you don't find anybody, only meditate on me. That will help for their improvement in the life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother.
Sai Ram, I think it's a progressive evolution. If one come to the stage that to totally rely on Swami, then as sister said, naturally he or she it's not going to look for others, other gurus or other leaders or whatever. But everyone doesn't reach that stage right away or in a short time. So I think if we look around in our Sai Yoga Nation setup or centers, we can see the parallel. So until someone reached that stage, we have to be a bit more careful about associations. That's what. I think that's what I understood. Sai.
Thank you very much, brother. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts?
Yes, Sai Ram, I think before you totally understand Swami, don't to tell about Swami to others, but they will take for you, converge your path to Swami, not to Swami, to their lifestyle, because you are 100% confident about Swami and you read a lot of books and you know Swami's the Bala Leelas and everything. You have confirmed yourself, and you can even talk about Swami to others. And they say, okay, you are protected. Without that one, to talk to them, you lose your path to Sai.
Sai Ram, I took it the associating with people and the respecting the people are two different things. You may or may not associate closely with someone, but still you can respect that person without having their status or any other qualities. That is in my mind, I thought that is the very good point to be followed, Didi. Maybe, if previously the sister Shivani indicated that maybe the same length people, we always tend to, Didi, move along and those things, maybe even though not the same length or in the different wavelength, but still respecting the people is very, very important. Even they could be in a different wavelength. That doesn't mean that, they are not spiritual, or they could be in another view, and maybe their view could be different from you, but still respect those views and those people, and without looking their status, whether they are not par with your knowledge, or they below your spiritual knowledge, or the above your spiritual knowledge. That sort of the very good point, I got it from this one, Didi. But all of the brothers and sisters, they have already indicated, maybe in the process, you have to look at those. Once you get into that, the firm belief in Swami, and, you started meditating and those things, then, you don't need to worry about those, and, respect everyone, and, the quality of love and prema will develop you in that sort of really excellent point Swami has given it to us. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, sister. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
Saira, Swami mentioned that if you have 100% faith on Swami, you will get everything, and you will find good people, and you don't lose anything, and you lost anything. That is my experience and my firm faith and belief. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, brother.
Sairam, here I'm going to share something which my personal thing is, in my family, I'm the only one who follows Swami and all these things. So of course I can't avoid my family. So there used to be a time when I used to get into the argument whenever we are talking about religion or spirituality with my cousins when getting together. But with Swami's with the study circle and a little bit meditation, whichever way I do, I feel that now I don't personally get into the argument, because I have learned with Swami's teaching, everybody's born with some personality, past karmas, and wherever they are, that's their path. So there is no judgment, right? There should not be any judgment whether they're wrong or right. But if you don't agree, it's okay, just respect. That's what I could picture the situation when I met, lately with my cousins and everybody. There's no argument. It's just everybody sharing their opinion on certain aspect of spirituality and religion. But at the end of the day, when we disperse, we are still happy. Otherwise, it used to be such a hard discussion that, it used to create some kind of anger in me. Why can't they get it, and they're not this and that, and judgment was there. But I believe with meditations, learning about Swami, and, being what he wants us to be, it helped me not to get and not to judge other people, just to respect where they are. And, that's their path. This is my path, but we all are human beings. Sorry.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. Any others who would like to share?
So, Sairam, I'm sorry to disturb you all the time. So I like the last part here. Meditation will progress without disturbance. So in order to have the good meditation, you have to bring the love. In order to bring the love, you are not supposed to be affected with the external object. So object, it could be anything. It could be people, it could be things or anything. So your mind's supposed to be calm. If your mind is not calm, if you are not calm, how can you do the meditation? How you can sit, how you can pray? So the love and the calm is very, very important. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Maybe I will add something. The sister Aruna's question was a pretty good one. So I will add my piece to it also. I think her question was that if Swami says, rely on God, then why is he talking about good company, bad company? The reality is, if we read one specific sentence, Swami says, it's okay if you're alone, if you seclude yourself. Don't worry about that also, Swami has said. The reality is, in this world, we are all surrounded by others. We are not in a cave, living in a cave. So we don't have a choice but get exposed to people. And Swami is just warning us not to, while doing that, we should be careful how we associate with people, where we associate with people, how we distance ourselves with certain thoughts, certain topics. I think that is why Swami is giving us this guidance, because all of us who live in this world are, most of our time is spent with others. But if you come to this paragraph, Swami says, rely on him as the only mother, father, guru, and guide. So Swami is Swami saying don't associate with your own parents? See, sometimes the biological parents also can be bad influence. Then Swami says, if that is also a problem, you should rely on God as the true mother and true father. So so I think that is why, because we all live in this world, we live in this community, in this society. So Swami has to give us the warning. Be careful, just don't associate with bad people. But he's also insisting on our need to rely on God as the soul and help in this path. So that we should never forget, and we should not rely on this person and that person. Rely on Swami. So I think it's very, very important, because sometimes, even in the Sai organization, each of us may tell different things, but ideally a devotee should rely on Swami's word and the connection between them and Swami. Others should not interfere with that. And we should not think that somebody else is an intermediary between us and Swami. They can, so if they are helping our connection with Swami, that is all the more good. But our connection with Swami, God, should be undisturbed and that's strong. I think that's what Swami says. There's no harm in, traveling along with others, but we should always make sure that our link, connection, and the strong bond between us and Swami is strong, because that's the most reliable one. Swami does not want us to give it at any point in time.
Thank you.
Sairam, in Mahabharata, we know the Karnan with the company with Duryodhana, what happened to him, that bad company. I think that's what Swami in the beginning he says like that. Then this, differentiate what will happen. Sairam.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. So,
yes, I think as Brother Aruna mentioned, that some of the association you cannot even choose. For example, as he said, family members or siblings and close friends, you can't even choose. You can't even avoid totally. To some extent, very minimal you can do that. So that's why it's so important, as Brother Aruna explained, Silent.
Sairam, brother, in the first, the be ever joyful and sweet, that paragraph, the first paragraph, what is Swami meant about the innocence? We can understand, we have come across purity before, humility before, but the innocence part is new here. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, in Tamil is Abhavitanam. So like a child, in a sense. So we in the meditation we cannot we should not think about any other people at all. No, the innocence, totally innocent, like a child.
Sairam, in Telugu, Swami says Nishkapatyamu. Nishkapatyamu, without any kapatam. In Tamil also we say that. So innocence here means only that.
Okay, thank you.
Kapatamu, kallatanamu unna kadayadu. There is no, that is it. That
Yes.
is innocence here means.
Yes, sincere. Okay, thank you.
Sairam.
Right.
Kalyani wanted to ask something, I think.
Yes. So where Swami's saying you must always be joyful with a smile on your face, is that really possible? Like, especially if you're embarking on a spiritual journey, like maybe you have to give up some things, or like sometimes it can be challenging. Or shouldn't hardship and struggle be part of the journey? And do you is it possible to always be joyful?
Sairam is a good example is Aruna, Brother Aruna. I have seen that one. I have seen that one. I think 90% I have seen that in this video or in person. Personally, I've seen a few times, but all the time he was cheerful. But in this study circle in the video, I have seen sometimes he's like not regular moods, but 90%, 90% he's cheerful. I have seen that. So that with all the so his issue whatever in the form, he does not show it out because to that level he has developed himself. The devotion to Baba and spiritually attainment. So until we get that one, it's very difficult to show, have a smile on our face. Actually, really, when the really, but for the people mature, when the maturity comes to us, we will smile, and not before actually. And that's what I can say. This is my understanding.
So, Sairam, brother, but if you are satisfied, everything, whatever you have now, your house or your work, what kids, your health, you have everything. So why you have to be sad? Because for the meditation, happiness is very important. Without happiness, you cannot do the meditation. So you have to be, whatever you have, if you are satisfied, that will bring everything. That is my understanding. Thank you.
Sairam, suppose in my family, one of my close member of my family is suffering from cancer. Suppose she say that she's in the hospitals or at home. So can I smile when I
No,
go?
you cannot smile.
Huh?
You cannot smile.
Yeah. That's a question Kalyan is asking. No, so I am saying that one. So it needs some spiritual attainment before we smile. That's what I am just saying that.
But the Krishna said the equanimity. When you have suffer, when you are happy, don't change your attitude. But it's very hard. Okay.
Very hard.
But you have to practice that one. You have to come to that. You have to understand, and nothing is permanent.
Yeah.
But easy to say, but is when you go into the deep, then even Swami asks, who is the good devotee? The person who doesn't change the mind or anything, anytime. He's my good devotee, but easy to say, but yeah. Thank you, Sairam.
Yeah, that's what I...
And if I could just add one other thing to the question, that like sometimes I wonder if when I'm feeling like sad or depressed, like I wonder, am I doing something wrong? Because if you're on the spiritual journey, you should be joyful all the time. Or is it like it's part of the process that, it's going to help me grow, like this sadness or whatever, it's going to help me. And it is part of the journey. So that's also one confusion that I have.
The Sairam, I have a little question about the innocence part. Normally, when we come to the meditation level, at least you are not undeveloped, or at least you would be in the average spiritual sadhana level. So if that is the case, if I wanted to pursue with the meditation to elevate my soul into the higher level, why I would be cunning and because I really wanted to have to elevate my soul. That's why I am doing the meditation. In my understanding, the most of the cases, we all will do that with innocence. At what time the cunningness and the maybe just like Maniandi said, kabadam and kallatanam, at what point that sort of attitude would pop up in our mind? I thought meditation just within myself. No one is going to see what Anand is, praying about or doing that, why we would be cunning and those things, the voice, definitely there must be an important point. Swami stressed that innocence, I can understand the humility part and the purity part, but the innocence, maybe some sort of explanation about, I thought the people, they do the meditation, or they want to do the meditation, they would do themselves at that meditation time, they would be innocence,
Sairam.
Thank you.
Sairam, until we are thinking that I am alone, that these all things affected us. When I am thinking that my God is with me, my Swami is with me, from that time I am free, because that Swami is look after my whole problems and he will help me. He's helping me. So I am not worrying about anything. So we have 100% faith on Swami. We can face everything. Thank you, Saira.
So innocent I can compare with the child. The child, when I think Brother Sivadas also mentioned, the innocent child doesn't understand anything. So he's going to be calm all the time. The innocent child will be happy. That's what I can compare. Thank you.
Sairam. Swami says we should have harmony among our thought, words, and deeds. That is 3 H's: head, hands, and heart.
Yeah.
So we have to have smile in our face. Also, we think our face represents the heart.
Index, the index of the heart. Face is the index of the heart. Yeah.
So when our heart is in sad or confused and other difficult situation, our heart is not in. So we surrender all difficulties to Swami, and that, like Swami says, the true happiness is a union with God. That is meditation. So when we have full faith in Swami, he's going to take care of all my difficulties and sadness. That happiness should bring a smile on our face. Thank you, Saira.
Sairam, that I like it, but that goes for the Sister Kalyani's question, why we had to worry. When you are worried, how can you show the smile on the face? The worry is not going to do anything. So when you think like that, then you will take away that worry and you be happy all the time. This is something I would say, because worrying will not will give you anything. If you think like that, then always you can keep yourself happy. Thank you, Saira.
I also said in the chat, one of the ABCs that Swami keeps saying to us is always be cheerful. In whatever situation you are, God is with you, among you, around you. God will save you. He will guide you in the right path. So we take surrender in Swami's and do meditation, and happiness is holiness with being with Swami all the time. Just like we may keep mentioning, I am God, I am God, I am God. This is also, I should be happy. Swami, I'm happy. I'm being with you, I'm happy.
So, my interpretation, and these are very good questions, that sometimes you're stressful or sometimes things doesn't work and you start doing, did I take the wrong action? If I would have done this would have been better. What is helping me is I don't suppress my emotions. Of course, these are emotions. If you're happy, you're sad. But does it inflict, or does it deviate me from my spiritual path or my faith, my devotion towards Bhagawan? That should not be. I should not be doubtful that what he's doing, because it's his creation, as we have learned in the past. I don't know in this one or the Sunday Nivarni, that the Creator has created, everything is good for him. It's just our reflection it's our resound. What we see, it's our interpretation of the situation. So, and that can bring emotions, which is okay. I know once Jagdishan from Mauritius, he shared when he lost his son, he doesn't want to cry. He doesn't want to cry. And he was saying, Swami, I'm not going to cry. And when he had the interview, Swami said, no, that's emotions. Even as a God, I showed my emotion, but deep down, it should not affect you. It should not inflict your own divinity. And I believe as far as it's not doubting me, my Lord, what he's saying, his words, I'm okay. For that moment, I'm okay. And then I surrender. I just visualize, literally, I'm taking that thought and say, okay, whatever I did, it's my spiritual path, as you have said, Kalyanini. It could be our spiritual path. That's why we have to go through that pain. But am I intact in my spirituality? Am I progressing? Let me just pass this phase with loud crying. It's okay, but I should be okay tomorrow. That's how I do. I don't know if it's right and wrong, but that helps me a lot.
Sairam, for my view, apart from the spirituality, when you are happy and peaceful, the everyday life, practically, then only you will make the decision right. If you are unhappy and stressful and depressed, you won't make the decision right. Because of that, you have to be happy and mental status with the good thinking power, then only you can think. When you order to get that, you have to have a meditation and God guidance. That is the thing I believe. Sairam.
Sairam, in this context, I remember some student was saying that at particular time in Puttaparthi, the Bhagavan didn't come out for 5 days or something like that. Brother might be knowing that. So the reason for his not coming, and when others happened to go into his room, and he said, these students are not showing smile in their face. Why should I come out? Why should I come out? So certain thing happened, I think, and there's no smile on their face, and the Bhagavan didn't come out. And Swami Vivekananda said, don't go out shut. If we are putting a castor oil face, don't go out shut within the room and sit, Vivekananda said. So because these things are very spiritually very, very important. That's what Bhagavan is saying. Spiritually very, very important. So to have that smile in our face, we have to have intense faith in the Lord. So intense faith will come when we have spiritual disciplines, spiritual time devoted for the prayer or meditation, whatever it is. So the more we are doing spiritual sadhana, as explained by Bhagavan, say some people, very difficult for some people for them to get up in the morning. But Bhagavan is saying, get up in the morning. Why Bhagavan is saying? There is a reason for that. So when we get up in the morning and sit in the meditation and spend some time with the Lord, or say 21 Suprabhadam, 21 Omkaram, Suprabhadam, and so on and so on. So when we do that, then our spirit within gets developed, come manifesting. So automatically then we will have smile on our face. Even anybody, if they they cannot make me angry also. So, say whatever it is, even if they come in the way, I am not get angry, because I am enjoying the proximity with the Lord, and I am treating everybody alike and loving everybody. So I can have a smile on my face. So I am saying I am means I am referring to any person, not me. So that's the thing. But so for smile to be on our face, we need some spiritual sadhana. That's what I can say here. But Bhagavan won't it, because this only will help us in meditation. Bhagavan is saying that. If we are not showing a cheerful face, and if you go to meditation, you cannot meditate. That's what Bhagavan is saying. So Both is reciprocal. If you do more of sadhana meditation, you will have smile. If you try to smile and think, understand the regular life, and you can have more meditation part. Something like that. That's my understanding. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry.
So if I want to put in a nutshell, brother, the most of the worry is coming out from the desire. If we drop the desire, we don't have any worries the most of the time. Okay, 90% of the thing is desire. And if we surrender everything to the God, we get the peace and happiness. Thank you, Saira.
Saira, I want to add one more thing. When you feel unhappy or Down syndrome, don't go and see the patients.
Yeah.
So you transfer your thought and everything to him and put him more down. So when you have a very good mood and very good smiling face, only visit the patient. Or I visit your home and pray. That is very good. Thank you, Saira.
Saira, I would like to add one more thing. When you have a strong faith, then you will know the worrying, any kind of problem comes, your strong faith will allow you to leave it to Swami and move on. So in that way, you will not be affected by these worries. You know that is what Swami is giving for a reason. So strong faith will keep you happy. This is one of the things I just.
Okay, thank you, Ram. Thank you, Ram. Sister, my question is, suppose a death take place very, not a young person dies in the family, or somebody get cancer in the family, or somebody got accident and left and the legs were removed. And recently, the couple of days, 1 week, Vimination will know that the 60 years now she has passed. She was suffering from cancer. She died, and the husband already left no leg because he got an accident about 20 years in Canada, and the right leg, below the knee, was removed. So, and if, the lady was supporting him because he has no leg, no. So now at the time she developed 6 years ago cancer, breast cancer, but it spread it, and she died, and now that person will come to my. So I used to go and I took medicine also to them for prayers and like that. So that those people, those instances is very difficult, very difficult. So that is what I said. Some maturity is required to have smile on our faces at any circumstance, any event like that. So when the things move smoothly and we say, oh, we are okay, when the trying circumstance comes, then what is that?
So, brother, you are referring the maturity is here. You are referring to the strong faith. Am I right?
Pardon?
If you develop your strong faith, that's the maturity I'm thinking on this spiritual side, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So in this case, okay, brother. So we know the death is following like a shadow. It can come 1 year or 10 years old. It could be 50, 60 years. We don't know how that's going to affect us. That's the reason it's very hard to digest and very hard to see those kind of things. That is the reason we don't want any more birth, the cycle. We have to come out with the cycle. With that's what we are in the spiritual path. This is the main cause. We don't want to see this kind of things. That's what we are praying. We don't want any more birth. Thank you, Saira.
That's you are always you have only always you are telling that the correcting Dasan, you are aiming at that one, and that's good. But this is for everybody, that's the thing.
It's very hard.
I agree with Brother Sivadas. Be ever calmful is different from joyful. Under any circumstances, we can be calmful and quiet, but cheerful, joyful, and sweet is different from, that is very, very hard until you develop your attitude or your words, thoughts, and deeds into a jnani's level. The maintaining the joyful and sweet, the words, it's practically very difficult under certain situation. Normal situation, we can think about, okay, all will die, this and that, but something happened right in my the hand or in my household. At that time, the joyful and the sweet words and everything, it would be a second thing. Unless we develop to that very higher level, that's what Brother Sivadas point, I believe, for ordinary people like us, the ever being joyful and sweet, even though we try hard, it would be it would be difficult. Yeah.
Sairam. Swami is saying that for in a general way, but as Brother Sivada said, in extremely adverse conditions, it's extremely difficult unless, as he said, you reached a very high spiritual maturity level. That's okay. So,
we are worrying about those things. No, that's true. But what we can do nothing about that. No, we have to leave that everything's to God and free ourselves and be happy, because this is coming from that karma, past karma. Swami says we cannot worry about that people like that. And you can see that Professor Kasturi, he has a lot of problems in his family. His son-in-law died and his wife was very sick. And at the same time, he was very happy and smiling all the time with Swami's work, no?
So many children died. So that is what we are saying. They are close associated with Bhagawan.
Yeah,
that's what I am saying about brother also, no? So brother also had a trying circumstances and has trying. Still, he is totally unaffected in the sense, he's taking, he understanding the things now. So it is very difficult as I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Everybody understand that there's difficult things. I know that. And on hand, we can do nothing before that. Only the God can do that something. That's in that.
So what Bhagavan is saying here is, okay, let us not go to the extreme things. Even the small things, try to be cheerful. That's what Bhagavan is saying.
Yeah.
Try to be cheerful as much as possible. Show a good face to others. Especially when we meet people, we have to be happy. Happy. That will help us in meditation. That's what Bhagavan is trying to say here.
That's true. Sometimes we are saying our worries and problems to other people.
Yeah, that should not be done, actually.
Getting sad, no? Then
yeah, we are making others unnecessarily sad.
Yeah, we are making other people also getting sad about our problems. So we don't have to tell them our problems, and be happy with it all the time. See, show them to our happy face all the time. So I'm saying that try. Thank you, sir.
I think, brother, time has passed.
So time is. I think everyone is very happy to discuss, so it took time flow. But I'll just add a few things. I think. See, Swami is specifically talking about meditation. If we cannot cultivate the ability to be joyful, meditation will not be successful. I think I think Swami is very clear about it. The second thing is how to be happy. Do we have to spiritually evolve so much to be happy? Is the second question, I think, which was discussed. The reality is, if we believe that we have found Swami, who is God, who came on earth, of whom we have come to know, and whatever he has taught, we are reading. There's nothing more valuable in this world than that. And when we believe that he is taking care of us day in and out, not only us, even those around us, there's no reason for us to be sad. Generally, we become sad only for one reason, that's called self-pity. Self-pity is the only thing. This has happened to us. Is the only thought which makes us all sad. But if we really look at this world, we will find millions of people who are worse off than us. Any situation, if you take, there will be millions who will be much more worse off than us. So if we totally understand that we have Swami who is all-knowing, all-powerful, and we know of him, I don't see we should have tough time to be happy. It should naturally happen because Swami is there to talk to us. Swami is there to but I think that's something which we have to remind ourselves. I think that will keep us be cheerful all the time. I will just add that, and then I will also address one of the questions Sister Ananti asked about innocence. The word, what Swami has written is Nishkapata Prayatnamuto. What he says is our effort should be without any contrivance. We should not, in Tamil, in Sanskrit, they say kapata sannyasi.
Yeah.
Like, we should not do meditation because others are looking, type of thing. So it should be sincere effort. Nishkapata prayatnamuto nirmala, like that Swami is saying. That means our effort should be totally sincere, not to put on act, not to, seem like
showcasing out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that Swami is using our prayatna should be nishkapata. Our effort should be without any kapada or any.
Sai Ram, we can say it's a purity of the heart.
Yes.
Purity.
Beautiful.
With pure, just like an innocent child, how its heart is so pure. So also with a lot of affection and then with love, if we observe meditation, it can be successful.
Okay. Thank you.
But there's another word for purity in the same. That's what Anandi asked. The purity and humility are there already. So her question was what really meant by innocence. So, yeah, that's the thing. So.
Okay, so
sincerity can be be translated.
Sincerity.
That's a word.
Yeah.
If you look at an infant child, there's a small baby. It's like he has no desire, no, just
okay. So okay. Thank you very much, brother. I think it's about almost 5, so we have gone a little far.
Yeah.
But we'll close if it's okay.
Yeah.
With Samastaloka and Shanti Shanti.
No announcement also anything because the people are not here. So okay, close it, please.
Saira.
Okay.
Samastaloka sukhino bhavantu. Samastaloka sukhino bhavantu. Samastaloka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Sai Ram. Thank you.
Thank you, Sai Ram.